You want to talk about the car at all on the YouTube?
Do you want to talk about the car on
How much
YouTube?
time do you have? Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about the car.
Well, I bought it before my wife's and my wedding because my uncle was coming from Holland and he was a car nut.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'm going to let him drive it. And he got it. And he actually was so blown away, but he was a little scared of it. But he had actually had a 53 Pontiac in Holland, so he's a real car guy. And so after the wedding, life went on, and then I was driving it down Highway 22, and all of a sudden it started knocking and smoking and banging. So that was kind of the beginning.
Yeah.
And then what I did was I pulled the motor out, and I quickly realized it's got a 409, which is a really awesome engine. They came with a 348, which is a W block or a big block, but the 409s have bigger cylinders and longer stroke. So that was the one interesting thing with the car when I got it. It had a 4 on the floor and the 409.
That's cool.
And so I pulled the motor, brought it to my friends at Unlimited Performance, and they took it apart, rebuilt it, turned it into a monster, and dynoed almost 600 horsepower. And it's fuel injected carburetor on it. And redid the suspension, and so it drove great, but it didn't look so good. So then I'd always kept in touch with Chris. I met him here at World of Wheels years ago. And just saw what kind of work he could do. And I was always kind of on his waiting list. And finally I said, "Do you have room?" And he said, "Yeah, I think we got room," right? So drove it up to Bicycle, and he looked at it and he said, This could be 1,000 hours. Well, it was a few more, but it's one of those things. Once you sort of break into it, you're that far, you just don't want to hold back. So first of all, sandblasted it and realized there's a lot of holes, and got new metal from the Far East that didn't fit. So his great guys made it work, and just inch by inch, like there's obviously not a nut or bolt or any part of this car that hasn't been touched. He bought a few parts cars, and the original frame was about as rusty as the floorboards. You could stick your feet through the back seat there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'd have it was like being Fred Flintstone.
Right.
So, but just picking away, and then finally got the body work, and we just made some decisions. And originally the car was red. I wanted to paint it white, like the one in American Graffiti.
Right.
But Chris said, the chrome on these cars is just so amazing. He said, if you paint it black, you'll get then the chrome will really shine. So I followed his advice, and then another thing he mentioned, we were redoing the dash and trying to figure some stuff out, and the original dash is actually over there. And 58s the Corvettes had a dash similar to this dash. I call it a dash of 60, right? Or a dash of 59, I should say, because 59 and 60 are the same. So, but Corvettes had the round speedometer and just a little bit more interesting stuff going on. So Chris, he was trying to come up with a way to design it, and he said, the cars are wonderful, but they kind of dropped the ball when they got to the dash. And I thought, well, why can we throw throw a 59 dash in there? And he said, of course, right? So, and he had one. So it had to, we lost the speaker, but when we put the air conditioning in, we put the speakers down where the air vents used to be, and I think it's incredible. It's only, I don't think there's another one quite like it. And then we started working on the interior, and I have to say there's one detail on the car that I did steal, and it was those bucket seats, because they're out of a T-Bird, and there's a restoration company in the States that they built one with the same seats, but I saw them and I just thought, those are so perfect.
It fits the car.
Yeah. And because we tried to put some, because definitely wanted a console and buckets. And also we put a 5-speed tranny in when we redid the motor and drivetrain as well. But the seats were, I'd seen one very much like it and thought, that is so awesome. I sent an email to the guy and said, just so you know, in case you see it, I stole it, but he never answered me. Who knows? Awesome. But so that's about the only detail that's not completely unique to this car. And then the other, let me think, what else can I tell you? We put in custom exhaust because the suspension that was an aftermarket suspension that would not only fit on this car but also on 57s and 59s. So it's wonderful. For driving, it's because sometimes it's like you're driving a big boat, but this thing holds the road, and thanks to the suspension. But there wasn't a lot of room for the headers, so the ones that we found, that Unlimited found when they did the first motor work, didn't quite fit, so we had to fix them with a hammer to make them fit. And it just wasn't right, because everything on this car now is just perfect, right? So we had a friend of Chris's down in Langdon that made custom headers, and they're incredible. And then slowly, once the body work was done, and that took, it's taken years from start to finish here, but it was in 2019 when I dropped it off. But we got body work done and got it painted black, and just got the interior done here in town by Auto Marine. And anyway, today is actually the first day I get to see it done, because I was at Chris's shop just over a week ago, and the hood and the trunk lid weren't on, and the dash was still taken apart. But so this is it, and it's stunning, and I'm very happy. And we're gonna take it to Spokane, and then we're gonna put it on the road.
Nice. So pretty exciting weekend then, having it done and now
very
showing it off for
exciting.
the first time. It's a gorgeous car.
Well, thank you. Appreciate your interest.
Yeah.
And we'll be, hopefully you'll see it on the road.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna drive it. So
that's good.
I know it's hard. It's to turn your baby loose, but that's what it's made for. It's born to run. So
exactly.
We'll be laying some rubber.
There you go. That's awesome. That's what we like to hear. That's sweet. Good
cool.
stuff. No, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'm Brian with Cruise Culture Magazine.
Okay, right on. Well, thanks.
Yeah, sticker there. And
oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Very cool.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to tell me the story.
My pleasure.
Yeah.